We saw in the last episode that the Beast King told Sin that he is going to die, and his last wish before dying is to fight Sin. After listening to which Sean tells Great that you are a warrior. That's why you want your death on the battlefield. Here the Riser is also listening to them and accepts the request of Sin Great. Then he asks Sen Great, "Have you told everyone about this?" On which Great tells that he will tell Valgame about this. Great says that my right hand and left hand know about it. Because after you left, I have fought both of them as well as many monsters. They know me very well. But we are all so old that we cannot live long. Sean tells Great that the Wolfgang is a very good leader like you, so he can manage everything well. Great says that I also have full faith in him, so I have no regrets about anything else. But my biggest regret was that I couldn't fight you at that time. But now I will get a chance to fulfill my wish again, and I am very happy to see this. Then the Great Wolf tells the gang and Kura that his wish is going to be fulfilled soon, and he is going to leave this world. On hearing this, both Wolfgang and Kura become sad, but Great explains to him that now he has come of age and he has enjoyed his life. So he is going to fulfill his wish, and that too, to fight the strongest human. And I'm much happier for it. Here Sun is sitting in his room and looking at Moon when Yuha comes to him and asks him if anything has happened. On which the scene tells that everything is fine, and here Great is also watching the moon from his room. The next day, Sean repairs the Century building, and Great repairs his weapon and builds a new one. Tiara is shocked to see this. After that, both Sean and Great start talking to each other in the night and are spending more and more time together, and Great asks Sean if he will leave the Riser here, to which Sun tells the Great that he wants to go home, and this is the region that he is fighting in this world. Hearing this, Girat also understands Sean's point, and then he tells him that if we had any other option so that we can all live our lives well and live together, then I would have definitely found that way. To which Sean says, "I wish I could do this, and we could all fulfill our dreams." The next day, Sean goes into the woods with everyone to fight the Great One. Sean tells Riser to take good care of the people around him so that he does not have any problem with this battle. The Riser understands the scene and tells her that she will see everything well. Here, the Wolfgang and Kurur are also thanking the Great that he trained all of them for so many years so that they could reach here today. After that, both Sun and Great come to the forest and start fighting. The fight of both of them destroys the entire forest, which everyone is surprised to see. The Wolf King would be thinking that Great is having his biggest fight with a high human, and this fight is a big deal for him. They are all very impressed by the power of the Great because they had never seen the full power of the first king here Great, and Sean are enjoying their fight very much. After which the Riser tells that this is just their warm-ups. The real fight is going to happen now. After hearing this, Tiara asks Riser if they are not fighting with their full power, to which Riser says that he has not used his full power yet. Then Tiara asks the Riser if she is also so strong, on which Riser tells that he also has a lot of problems in fighting the Great, but he is not strong from the master scene. After listening to which Tiara starts thinking that Sin is stronger than Great. Here the Great tells Sean that I had developed that new technique and it became useless in front of you. I am very impressed to see that you are fighting this battle with all your might. And then we see a flashback where Sean is telling Great that he will fight this battle with all his power so that Great does not feel any kind of regrets. After hearing this, Great thinks that if he was in Sun's place, he would do the same, and Great is also happy to hear this. Great then returns to his beast form and begins to fight Sin using all of his power. Here, Sin also blocks Great's attack, but then Great comes behind Sin and attacks him. Then Sin stops that attack as well. Then the fight between Great and Sin becomes very intense. Both of them are enjoying the fight. Just then, Great attacks Sean, which Sean stops, but he starts going backwards. Just then, Great is going to come behind Sean and make his strongest attack on him, which Sean is very surprised to see. But the Great gets tired before he can carry out that attack, after which he falls down and his body becomes normal. He then tells Great Sean that his time has come and he is very happy to do this battle, tells Great Sin that you have defeated me in this battle and I am very impressed with your power. The Great tells Sean that he used all his power, but you haven't used your full power yet. After listening to it, Sean doesn't say anything. Then the scene uses its full power, seeing which they all are surprised. Seeing this power of Sean, Great could not believe that his master was so strong. Then Sen tells Great that we will definitely meet again, and after saying this, Sen attacks Great with his power. The battle ends here. Then Sen brings Great's body to everyone, after seeing which the Wolfgang and everyone come to Great and surround him. Sean tells everyone that you should be proud of your first king because he has defeated a high human in this battle, after which they all start looking at Great's face and they are happy to see that Great has no regrets. He fought the battle with all his might. And Kurur says that if they see us crying like this, they will laugh at us a lot. It's very sad here. And then the next day, he takes Great's dead body. Seeing this, all the beasts are crying very much. Then he gives his last tribute to all the greats, where the scene is still very depressing. Then when the Riser sees Sean in this state, she comes to Sean and hugs him, after which Sean starts crying, and he says that he is very sad about the death of his friend. Riser tells Sean that Great was very happy with this battle, and you fulfilled his wish, so you should be happy. After hearing this, Sean becomes even more emotional, and Riser tells Sean that crying will lighten your mind, so you can cry openly today. And then we see that Sean has come to find the C-word with Riser and Tiara. Sean sees Riser and Tiara in the beast costume and asks her why she is wearing it. On which Riser tells Sean that we are an elf, so we have worn a beast costume so that our identity is hidden, because elves are very rare in this beast nation. After that, they all start to go further, and Sean tells that Word was one of his supporting characters in this game. Then Sean comes across the Wolfgang and Cruel, where the Wolfgang tells Sean that the C-word is in the room, after which they all go inside and ask Sean Riser if the C-word is also a monarch like the Great, on which the Riser tells that the C-word dragon is the first dragon of the Empire and the ruler of all of them, and he moved away from the imperial family. But Seward was about to become the second dragon king in this place, but due to his illness, he could not become the king. After that, they come to the room where the scene is asked to wait, and the Wolfgang tells Sean that he has some work to do, but in his place, the brute will stay with all of them, and after saying this, he leaves from there. Then start weighing Sin and all the C-words, after which the C-word comes to the room. The C-word tells its attendant to leave from there. Then when Sean says the C-word that we are meeting after a very long time, then the C-word bows down to Sean and tells him that I am very happy to see you, Master, and now I will serve you again. Hearing which Sean is shocked, and Sean remembers that the C-word was like that. Then Sean says to the C-word that we have met after many years, so you can be normal with me. The Riser also tells the C-word that you can call Sean by his name, to which the C-word says that it will be a little accured to me. Then the C-word asks the Riser why you are wearing such clothes, on which the Riser says that Sean likes such clothes, so I have worn such clothes. Sean then tells the C-word about the Great's death and how he was killed in his last battle as a warrior, after listening to which the C-word says that Great was always like that. Then the C-word asks Sean, what are you going to do next? To which Sean tells that now he is going to go to a secret island, on which the C-word tells Sean that I will kill first, and then I will join you. Hearing which Sin becomes happy and says to the C-word that we are becoming a party after many years. Then the scene begins. Then he gives his weapon to the C-word, seeing which the C-word is surprised. And Sean says that after fixing Great's weapon, I also fixed it, and it's already very strong. C-word is shocked to hear this and tells Sin that your power has increased again. Then Sen comes to the guild with everyone where they are looking for Quist to raise their rank. He then takes the goblin quiz and then asks the cruel Sean if she can go with him in this quiz. Then she will go to check the forest, whether the forest is growing properly or not. Sean accepts the cruel thing and tells him that I will also go to the forest with you because the condition of that forest has deteriorated due to the fight between me and Great. After that, they all come to the forest, where they start checking the forest after killing all the goblins. They all come back to report to the guild after recovering the forest, where the guild tells the receptionist Sin that you have been called to the palace by Berlinetta for some work. Then he remembers that while fighting the Skullface monster, She went to a sword palace and probably found out that I was behind all this. She tells cruel Sean that she also wants to go with him, but she cannot leave this country. After listening to which, Sean tells Cruel that will you take me to your father Wolfgang? I have some important work from them. After which the Cruel scene is taken to the Wolfgang. Wolf tells the gang scene that he has come here for some work. Then Sean gives the Vulpegang the Great's weapon Death Moon and says that from now on, you are its owner. I have given you this Death Moon at the behest of the Great because he has full faith in you. The Wolfgang wears that Death Moon and is amazed at its power. The next day, Sin and Riser head back to the kingdom with the tiara, and they use their telep magic to come directly to the place where the Moon Century takes place. And Sean sees that there were already some people around here keeping an eye on them, on which the Riser says that they all must have come here for the Moon Century because they must have known that the Moon Century can come here at any time, so they are waiting here. After saying this, Riser leaves and Sin tells Tiara that he can never wait for someone who will never come to him. But you are very strange, to which Tiara tells Sin that we are different from elf humans. If we have to wait for someone, we will wait. After listening to which Sean says that this is true and an elf lives for a long time, so when I think about it, I do not understand things. Then Tiara would tell Sean that you should not think about all these things because you think only strange. To which Riser tells Tiara that there is nothing like that. When strange things happen, the scene becomes serious. After that, they all come to the guild, where Sean tells Celica that I was called here by the guild master for some work. Then Celica sends her sister inside to ask the master. Then she asks Sean that you are not an ordinary adventurer. There are always beautiful girls with you, on which the scene tells that there is no such thing. He also goes on a mission with the rest of the males. Sean then tells Celica about the S he went on the mission with. After listening to which all the adventurers start watching the scene, and Sean asks Celica about why everyone is watching her. To which Celica tells Sean that Ace is an S-rank adventurer, and there are a lot of rumors about him. But S never goes on a mission by teaming up, but you are telling that you went on a mission with him. No one believes this. Then Celica's sister comes over and tells Sean that you're being invited in by the master. Then Sun meets the guildmaster Valak, and Valak sees Sin and tells him that you came here very quickly, to which Sin tells that as soon as he got the message, he came here directly. Worley then tells Sean about Ord, a gem specialist, and they've also checked out your jam that you got after defeating the Skullface monster. Then Sun asks Varley from what work I have been called to the palace. He then asks Sean if he knows of a sword that fell into the castle a few days ago. After listening to which Sean remembers that the sword had fallen into the palace due to his mistake. He then tells Sin that she fell into the room of the sword lady Ryan, the second princess of this kingdom. But the bullet didn't hurt anyone. And after hearing this, Sin is a little relieved, and Hard explains that the sword is very strong, which is even better than the sword of our palace, and there is no comparison between them. So Lady Rion wants to meet the man who made this sword. Then Sin asks him how you came to know about me, that I am related to all this. To which Had tells Sin that I am a gem specialist. And when I checked the gem that you got after defeating the Skullface monster, that gem was also believed to be the same bean that was inside that sword. After watching it, I knew you had defeated the Skullface monster. Then Sin asks them both why they want to meet me. I don't know about that, but I think she wants to marry me. After hearing this, Sin does not understand what marriage has to do with all this. Then our HUD explains to Sean that whoever is the strongest in this kingdom is considered to be the king here. So maybe Lady Rion wants to marry you because she knows how strong you are. Then Burley tells Sean that you also have the invitation given by Razor, so you must go to the palace. After that, Sean tells all these things to Riser and Tiara, to which Riser tells Sean that he probably wants to make you a noble, so that you become a part of the royal family and also work for this kingdom. Sean asks him that there is no solution to avoid it, to which Riser tells Sean that you should tell them that you cannot leave your party. Sean likes this idea very much and he asks what reason should I give for not getting married. The Riser then asks Sean to tell them that Tiara and I are your finances. After listening to which Tiara Sharma goes, then she says that if I have to act to be the finance of the scene, then I can do it. Then Juha also tells Sin that she also wants to be his finance, but Singh denies it. Sin tells Juha that we are just acting, and right now you are very young. Then the next day, Sin comes to the gate of the palace and tells his name to the guard, after which the guard tells Sin to wait and says that I will tell about you inside. Then, after some time, another guard comes, and he asks Sin his name, to which Sin tells him his name, and the guard tells Sin that my name is Guard Race, and I am the personal guard of the princess. After that, both of them start going inside, and Sin sees that the strongest guard has been sent to take him. Then Sean comes to Lady Ryan's room and tells Lady Ryan his name. After which, Princess Ryan tells Sin that she is the second princess of this kingdom, and Sin does not need to do so much formality with her, and he can also call her Rio. The guard then tells Sean that Lady Ryan is just like that. Sean then asks Rian why he was called here, to which Rio tells Sean that our hand must have told you everything. Rio shows Sun the sword that came to the palace, and she asks him, "Do you recognize this sword?" To which Sean says that I know this sword, and this sword belongs to the skull face monster that I defeated. Ryan then asks Sean if the skull face monster was very strong. To which Sean tells that the monster was very strong because when I was fighting with him, my sword was also broken. After hearing this, Ryan tells Sean that you are probably choose one, to which Sean starts asking about that choose one, on which Ryan tells that the Chudge Forest are adventurers with very strong power. And when we come to know about such an adventurer, we invite that adventurer to the palace and give him a noble rank. But most of the chicks are forest animals, so we can't hire them. But you are not an agent, so we want to put you on a rank here in the palace. Sean asks Ryan how he knows he's not an alien, on which Ryan tells Sin that I know everything by using the skill that I have. Sin tells Ryan that you are lying, to which Ryan says that you don't know about my skills. Then she tells Sin that you have the invitation given by the Riser, and the Riser never gives the invitation to Ejan. After which Sean understands his point. Then Leon tells Sean that I have to do a battle with you because I have to see how strong you are, and Sun is surprised to hear this. Then Lady Rio challenges Sean to a fight because she wanted to see Sean's real power. Lady Ryan's guard explains to them that it is not good for them to fight like this because she is the princess of this kingdom. On which Lady Ryan tells that she wants to fight with Sin, and anyway, she does not like to live like a princess. Sin accepts Lady Ryan's challenge, and after that they all come to a room where a crystal ball is kept. Then, they all touch that crystal, after which they are teleposed to a ground. Ryan tells Sean that right now we are at a very old training ground, and we have come here because of telep magic. After listening to which Sean starts thinking that telep magic is very rare and he knows about this magic, but Sean does not know that the members of the royal family also know about this magic, because very few people know this. After that, Lady Ryan asks Sin to select the weapon, and Sin selects a weak sword from there, because Sin did not want to show his real power to all of them, so he chose the weakest sword kept there. That's when Lady Ryan also takes out her strongest sword, and then the battle starts between the two of them. Both Lady Ryan and Sin had the same ability, due to which they are competing with each other in this battle. But Sin could not use his real power, because he knew that if he used his real power, his truth would come in front of him. After that, they both start fighting again, and the fight between the two reaches a very intense level. Then they both use the same skill, and as soon as the lady attacks Sin, Sin escapes from that attack. And that attack is very strong. Then Sen tells Lady Ryan that this battle should stop here and his sword is also breaking, so we cannot fight this battle anymore. After listening to which Lady Rio sees her sword and tells Sean that I was so busy in the fight that I did not even see the condition of my sword, after which they would finish both the battles here, and another man comes inside the room on the other side, which the guard refuses to let in. And here Ryan asks Sean to serve at the kingdom. She will give him a general post here. But Sin refuses and says that he has to live his life like an adventurer. After listening to this, Ryan understands Sin and asks her to tell me when your mind changes. Then Sin asks Ryan why you have kept the sword of this skull face monster with you, to which Ryan says that it is traditional in his kingdom that if someone gives a sword to a girl, then it means that he is proposing her for marriage. But the sword was in my bedroom. But I won't force you to get married, and so I will keep this sword as a gift. The guard then tells Sin that the people in the kingdom wanted to punish you for this incident and make you serve the kingdom here. Sean understood what he was saying. Then Ryan asks Sin if she can keep the sword on which Sin believes, and after hearing this, Ryan asks Sin if she can really keep this sword because this sword is very rare and Sin can spend his life well by using it. Sin then tells Ryo that he does not need the sword and instead asks Ryan if he can go to the library and get some information. After listening to which Ryo asks Sin if this is your request, then he tells Sin Ryon that the information I need is now the most important and valuable here. Ryo accepts Sean's point. Then when they all come back to the room using that crystal, only then they see a man there. The man is the priest general of the church, and seeing him, Sean understands that someone is controlling him with his magic. The general then attacks them all, causing smoke to billow into the room, and as the guards go to stop him, both Sin and Ryan telepathically leave the room and come to the Holy Land. Sean asks Ryo where he is at the moment, to which Ryan tells him that we have just arrived in the Holy Land. Then Sean asks Ryan if she can conduct anyone using her telepathy, to which Ryan tells that she cannot use telepathy because she has not joined a single party yet. And after hearing this, Sean tells Ryan that he is connecting his friends. Then he asks Ryan if there is any place around here that you know well, on which Ryan tells that there is a village named Lamar here, after listening to which Sin contacts his friends and Ryza asks Sean if he is okay. Because when the scene had disappeared, he felt that the scene had gone back. Sean tells Ryza that he is fine and that he is currently in the Holy Land. Sean tells Ryza that you all come and meet me in Balbar, and he also tells Ryza about that general. Sean tells Ryza that someone has used some confusion magic on him, so you go to the palace and check who is behind all this. Ryza understands Sean's point and tells Tiara that Sean has been teleported by a demon. Instead of hearing this, Tiara asks Ryza if the demons are those who are made of miasma, on which Ryza tells that he can turn himself into any monster and the power of all those demons is according to the rank. The demon who turns himself into a human is the most intelligent and strong demon, so we have to go to the palace quickly at this time and eliminate that demon after finding out about it. To which Tiara tells Ryza that the demons are very strong. How do we defeat them? Ryza tells Tiara that right now we are not going to fight that demon, but we are going to observe him. Then Ryza uses her magic on the Tiara so that they all disappear and they all come inside the palace. There are a lot of guards in the palace who are finding out about that demon. Then the Ryza comes to that priest general and he recognizes the Ryza. Ryza asks the general what happened to him, to which the general says that he does not remember anything. The Ryza tells the general that your memory has probably been erased because of that demon and tells him that the people you teleported are also fine, so you don't have to worry about them, and the general is a little happy to hear this. Then when the Ryza is going to remove the effect of that magic from the general, then some tentacles attack him, but the Ryza cuts all those tentacles with his sword and then a demon comes there, seeing which the Ryza tells the demon that you are behind all this. That demon also recognizes the Ryza and says that you come in our way every time, and after saying this, he attacks the Ryza. But the Ryza cuts the tentacle again, and then she tells the demon that you all always disturb the humans, so it is the job of the members of the sanctuary to stop all the demons. Hearing these names, the demon remembers that the high human lived in that place, which had eliminated many demons 500 years ago. Then he tells the demon Ryza that you too should join us because the high human in this world has gone long ago and your master has also left you. After hearing this, Ryza gets angry that how dare he speak bad about Sin. Then Ryza takes out his sword and tells Damon that high human Sin is now back. Then she cuts Damon's head, after which Damon disappears from there. Then the Ryza starts going to the king, and all the guards are looking at the Ryza because she is very strong and beautiful. Then the Ryza comes to the king where the first princess is also there, and she sees the general there and asks him that you were locked in the dungeons or what are you doing here? Ryza then tells him that the general was controlled by the demon with his magic, due to which he was not in his senses, and that the demon was controlling him, so it is not their fault, and Sin and Ryan are also fine. Everyone is stunned on hearing this. Then the general apologizes to the king for his mistake, to which the king tells the general that it is not your fault, so you go back to the church and work. And after hearing this, the general tells King that he will work even harder. After saying this, he disappears from there and then asks the King Riser what we should do next, on which Riser tells King that people should not know about this incident and we have to keep this secret. King accepts Riser's offer and Riser tells King that we are all going to Vellum, where Sin and Lady Rio are. Tiara then asks Riser how we will all get to Vellum, on which the Riser tells that we will run out of Vellum. After that, we see that the Riser is running very fast and the Tiara is sitting on top of that big monster. On the other hand, both Sin and Ryan are in the Holy Land, and Sin asks Ryan about the Holy Land, to which Ryan explains that there are many strong monsters in the Holy Land, which need choose one to defeat, but there are 4 gates to get out of this place, so we have to find those gates. Sean then asks Ryan if you brought the skull sword with you, to which Ryan says that when she was being teleported here, the sword was with her, and anyway, she likes this sword very much. After hearing this, Sin tells Rio that I will find a weapon for myself, and anyway, Sin did not want to show his true power to Ryan, because if Ryan finds out about Sin's true power, Rio will not leave Sin easily and will force him to stay in the palace. But Sean also knows that if he has to get out of this place, he will have to use his real power. After that, they both start looking for a way out, and a big wall comes in front of him, which Sean tries to cross by jumping, but he is teleported to that place again and again. He couldn't understand anything. He then asks Ryan to follow him, after which the two of them start going forward and a light appears in front of them, after which Sun tells Ryan that this whole place has turned into a dungeon, and when I try to cross it, this system of dungeons does not let me go out and brings me back on this path. Ryan was seeing for the first time that this place has completely changed into a dungeon. Then Sean tells Ryan that to get out of this place, we have to follow this light, and this light can teleport us to another place. Sean tells Ryan that he will first check that he will come back after seeing everything. After saying this, the scene touches that light and comes back telepied quickly. He then tells Ryan that there is no distance in this light and it cannot teleport us far. Then they both start to go further and Rin tells Sin that she is very happy that she is in this place with Sin because Sin has solved the problem of this place very easily, and as soon as they both go further, a monster comes in front of them and attacks them. The monster is very strong. Then Sin takes out his sword and blocks the monster's magic. Then Sun tells Rion to attack the monster, and Rion attacks the monster using the Skullface sword. Due to the attack of both of them, the monster is destroyed and tells Sinrio that the Skullface sword you have has light magic, which caused a lot of damage to the monster. Rion then asks Sean more about this sword, to which Sean explains that this is my sword and I made it myself and a lot of rare material has been used in making it, which is why it is very strong. Rion is even more impressed and asks Sin that you have hidden your weapons. Sin then tells Rio that every human being should hide something, but in fact Sin knew that he had hidden many things. After that, they both start to go forward and tell Sin Rion that he will eliminate all the monsters. Sin tells Rion that there are 20 monsters in this dungeon, but they are not going to move from their place. Rion tells Sean that we still have to be very careful because anything can happen in this place. Then a slime monster comes in front of them and Ryan goes to attack that monster. Sin had told Rio to stop, but she does not listen to Sin and attacks the slime monster. Even after Ryan attacks, nothing happens to the monster and he captures Ryan, seeing which Sean attacks the monster and saves Ryan. Sin tells Rian that due to the skill that this slime monster has, your magic will not work on him. After saying this, Sean attacks the slime monster, and as soon as the core of the slime monster appears, Ryan destroys the core so that the slime monster ends there. Sin then tells Rio that you need to be a little careful, and after hearing this, Rio tells Sean that you are being a little too formal with me, but I don't care. To which Sean explains that I am being so formal because there is no one else but the two of us in this place. Then Sean pulls back his face and his face turns red, and when Ryan asks him about it, Sean tells Ryan that your clothes are torn, and after listening to this, Ryan checks and he realizes that his clothes are torn. Then Sin gives her some clothes which Ryan wears and tells Sin that you go with full preparation. After that, they both start to go further, and Sean asks Ryan if he gets magic, on which Ryan tells that he gets basic magic, but this magic will not be of any use here, and Sin feels right about Ryan. He then contacts Sin Riser and asks where you are. Riser explains that she is all the way there, so she did not contact Sin. Sin then asks Riser if he can teach Ryan some tricks, and Riser gives Sin permission to do so. After that, Sun teaches Ryan some tricks, and with the help of that trick, Ryan cuts the stone with her sword. Ryan is surprised to see this. Then San tells Ryan that you can use this trick only on high-level weapons, otherwise your weapons will melt due to high heat. Rion tells Sean why he is teaching him such a rare trick, to which Sean says that if more people know this trick, they will all be safe. That's when Sean tells Rio that you should work to protect the people so that everyone in the kingdom will be safe. After hearing this, Rio is happy and accepts Sin's request, but Sean knows that the trick he taught Ryan is actually 500 years old, and it was a very simple trick. After that, they both go ahead, where both Sin and Rio see a big egg. Sin asks Rion if this is a monster's egg, on which Ryan would tell that it is not a monster's egg, because if it was a monster's egg, then there would have been some changes in the environment here. After hearing this, Sean starts to think that perhaps it will be the egg of a rare monster. Then Griffin comes out from inside the egg, which attacks both of them, but Sean takes Ryan away from there, and thus they escape from Griffin's attack. Then San tells Ryan that we have to defeat this Griffin, and for that, I go in front of that Griffin and distract him. Then you go behind that Griffin and attack him. Sean then goes to distract Griffin and attacks him with the weapon. Ryan attacks the Griffin with his sword, but his attack has no effect on the Griffin. Then Griffin attacks Ryan and throws him away, so that they both feel that this Griffin is very strong. Then Sin attacks the head of that Griffin with his fire blast, so that the head of that Griffin is separated. Then Sin says, thanks to Ryan, because it was because of him that Sin got time and was able to attack Griffin. But as soon as they both look back, the Griffin has regenerated again and starts attacking them both. Seeing this, both Sin and Rio start running away from there. Then Sin takes Rio to a corner where he tells Rio that you have to find that place because that gate has some connection with this Griffin, and this Griffin is able to regenerate itself using a spell. Ryan understands and asks Sean if he will be able to handle this monster alone. To which Sean says that he can handle it because he has handled a lot of monsters before. After that, Sean goes to that Griffin and uses all his power to attack that Griffin's head and eliminate him. But Griffin regenerates his head very quickly, after which Sin is also upset. Here Ryan has also got the gate, and here Sin has killed that Griffin 30 times, but that Griffin regenerates itself again and again, and after seeing this, Sin starts thinking that now Griffin will have to be sealed. Just then a white spear comes out from inside that Griffin and is pulling it towards itself. Seeing this, Sin attacks the white spear, but he also absorbs the power of the spear Sin. Then Sin begins to wonder how he will defeat this Griffin. Then the golden light begins to shine in Sin's body, after which Sin grabs that Griffin and cuts it off, and that Griffin is not able to heal itself, due to which Sin now completely destroys that Griffin. But now that golden light has also gone into Sin's body, then Rayan comes to Sin and tells him that I have found the gate, after which they both come out of the dungeons, and Sin asks Rio about Balvar, and he tells him that my friends are going to come there. Rian tells that Balmer is behind that mountain, so we will have to rest here tonight. After which Sun contacts Riser and tells him that he will camp with the lady tonight, so he will meet them all in Balbar tomorrow. And after hearing this, Riser gets irritated and asks her to walk quickly from the Tiara. Here, after hearing this, Tiara gets nervous because she had started to rest a while ago, and the scene from the other side is all camp ready, and seeing this, Rin is very impressed with her. Rio asks Sean if he goes ahead with the preparations, to which Sean says that I keep all this in my item box. After hearing this, Rio Sinmei becomes even more interested and starts getting closer to her. Seeing Sinrian coming to her, Rio becomes very excited and tells Sin that you should stay in our palace, to which Sin refuses and then starts sleeping with her hand on Sin's shoulder. Ryan tells Sin that she did it for the first time, and when Ryan wakes up the next morning, she sees Sin outside the tent who had been guarding her all night. Just then, both of them have eyes on a monster who is going towards the vellum, and both of them are very surprised to see it, to which Rian says that they may have felt something in the vellum, so they are going there. Sean sees that there are also many low-level monsters in it, so he tells Rin that we have to quickly inform the guild here so that we can save the Holy Land. Then Ryan tells that she will go to the Duke here and tell him about this situation. Then he comes to the Holy Land Guild, where he meets the Guildmaster Baran and explains the whole situation to him, to which Baran tells Sean that if your information is correct, then we have to do something quickly. Then Sean shows them the invitation card of Moon Century, which they are surprised to see, and Sean tells him that now you must have trust in me. Baran tells Sin that I have full faith in you and your companion has gone to the Duke, so soon our army will come here. So by then I also inform the rest of the guild so that we can all protect Sillin here. After saying this, he orders the assistant to give information about this to all the guilds. Then they ask Sun if you're also going to join this war, on which the scene says yes. After hearing this, Baran tells Sean that this is a very good thing because the Chews are very few. Then Sean leaves from there, only then he sees a shop in the town whose name is Paradise. Seeing that shop to Sean, it seems that he has seen that shop before. Sin then contacts Riser and tells him to wait for the Duke's army at Welburn because we're all going to meet there. Riser accepts the scene. Then Sean meets Bet, who is the supporting character of Sean. Looking at Bet, Sean tells him that I was waiting for you, and today you found me. After hearing this, Sean starts to think that the way Riser and all the other characters were weighing me in this game, it would also be weighing me in the same way. After that, they both go to a cafe where Bet tells Sin that there are still a lot of players inside this game who have not gone to their real world. Hearing this, Sin is shocked and asks Sin Bet about the shop, to which Bet tells that the shop belongs to Hibineko. Hearing the name Hibineko, Sean asks Bet that there are other people here, to which Bet says that they have all gone out due to a business trip, but they are all living here well. He then shows Sin a list of all the players that are in the game. Sin starts looking at the list that contains the names of many players. Then Bet gives Sin another list containing the names of the players who have killed some of Sin's friends and the rest of the players. Bet tells Sin that Riser also knows about this, after which Sin is a little surprised. Then Bet tells Sin that your expression showed that the Riser has not told you anything about this. Somewhere the Riser is not cheating you, and if it is so, then you should give him punishment. On which Sean tells that he has full trust in Riser, so she will not cheat him, but Sin is thinking about why Riser did not tell him this good. He then tells Sinbet that he is currently with the second Prince Ryan in the Holy Land, so he cannot tell anyone about his true power. Bet agrees to Sean and tells him that in this world the High Human is considered as a god, so if Rio sees your power, he will know that you are High Human, then she will propose you for marriage and will not let you go from here. So you have hidden your truth from her. Then Bet tells Sin that now he is preparing for the upcoming war because now Sin is here, so he does not have to take much tension. Here, Sin also meets Tiara and Juha and asks them where the Riser is, to which Tiara says that the Riser is very popular here, so she can't move around here. The next day, Riser and everyone go to the Duke's, and Sin thinks he should ask Riser about the shop. Sin reminds Bet that Riser is not cheating on her, but she feels that Riser cannot do the same to her. Then they all come to the Duke, and the Duke tells the Riser that he is ready for this fight, after which the Riser tells the Duke that she will train all their strong members, on which the Duke agrees. After hearing this, Tiara says that it is a big thing for all those members that Riser is training them. Fursan asks Tiara, "Why are you saying this?" To which Tiara says, "Master. The training of the Riser is very hard, so this training is equal to death for all of them, and after hearing this, the Riser tells the Tiara that you are also going to join this training. Then the scene comes out and sees, then he does not see a single monster there. About which he tells the Duke, the Riser says that all those monsters are very strong, so they will not come here for war right now, but they are going to attack us all in the night. It's like an event, but it has a lot of strong monsters. Now Tiara gets very scared after listening to the Riser, and after that they all start to leave, and Tiara's condition has become very bad due to training. Sean tells Riser that very strong monsters will come in this war, and perhaps their boss is also going to come. So, I'm going to make some weapons for myself. After that, we see the scene that is making the weapon. Then at night, they all go to war, where the Riser tells Sean that after this war, he has to talk to Sean about something important. Sean thinks that perhaps Riser wants to talk about the shop and accepts his point. Then a wave of monster comes there, which Riser destroys with his power, and Sean asks Riser if she can do this attack again. On which the Riser says that this long-range attack consumes a lot of power, so I can't use it again. Then comes the second wave of the monster, which is eliminated by Sean himself. Then when the third wave of the monster comes, we see the power of Tiara. All the monsters are destroyed by her explosive attack. In fact, the weapon that Sin gave to the Tiara has a lot of power, and here Rio is also surprised to see the power of the Tiara. Then in the next wave, Ryan and all the other guards are engaged. But in this wave, there are some monsters who are attacking Ryan, and here Tiara wanted to help Ryan, but she used all her power, due to which she cannot help Ryan, and here as soon as the monster is going to attack Ryan, then Avis comes there and destroys that monster. Ryan is shocked to see Ace, and here Russia tells Tiara that she will heal him. Ryo then asks them what they are doing here, to which Ace explains that we have been sent here by the guild and they can win because Sin can finish this monster alone. Here we see Sin, who is wearing an armor and is eliminating the monsters who are behind the guards. Sin starts to fight the monster and tells all the guards to leave. Then Sin is using his curse weapon and Riser also gets to know about it. Because of Sin's curse weapon, if he kills any monster, the power of his weapon increases. Then Sen uses his power to eliminate the monster. And with this war also ends here. After that, Sean comes to a party with everyone where this party was kept after this war ended. Riser tells Sean that you should also enjoy this party because it is because of you that we have won this war. Here we see S and Russia, who have gone back to their kingdom because they do not like to go to the party. Here Sen is enjoying very much in the party with everyone. Then the Riser leaves from there, after which Sean also comes to the Riser and asks him what important thing did you want to do. Riser says sorry to Sean that she hid a lot about the shop and other players from Sean because she wanted to see Sean before returning to the scene which used to be very cold. Sin also begins to understand that he has changed a lot by coming into this world, and he forgives Riser. After hearing this, Riser starts crying and Sin hugs him. Then Sin tells Riser that when he came back to this world after 500 years, this place did not seem like home to him, but when Riser gave him the right, he felt like his old home, so he refuses to cry to Riser, and Roger asks Sean if he has not forgotten the girl and has his feeling for her not changed, to which Sean tells Riser that the feeling for that girl in me can never change. Then kiss the Riser scene. Then she tells Sean that I will not give up so soon and will also change your feeling. The Riser then goes inside where Ryan and he are both fighting over who Sean belongs to and they challenge each other, but Sean likes someone else. Then they all move on to the next town, and that's where Season 1 of The New Gate ends. And friends, at the end of the video, I have a small request for you. Please support our new channel. Right now, we need your smallest support, so please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Also, don't forget to share it with your story lover friends. Lastly, do comment and let us know how you liked the story and if there was anything you felt could be improved so I can work on it. Okay, bye and take care.